Hi, this is Eric with Forge Gone Conclusions. Today we're going to be doing some ring alterations. We have this old style ring. As you can see, it's a big oval and we've got our ring shank. So the customer's looking to have this ring rotated so that way it runs along the finger instead of across. And we're going to remove the shank from this ring, rotate it, do a whole bunch of some gold work to it, reattach it on the side here, and then we're going to go ahead and investigate what's going on with this shank. All right, let's get started. So the first step is we're going to remove the shank from the top of the ring. So we've removed the top part of the ring from the shank. Now we're going to start editing the top part and then clean up the bottoms of it and change the scallop. So we removed the initial pieces, so we're going to cut this down a little bit more by filing, and then we're going to fill in these arch areas and try and make it so that way this is where the finger is going to be, so we want to make sure that's built up enough to accommodate the ends of the ring shank. So that we've filed down the edges a little bit, removed a little bit of the old solder that was there. Next step is to fill in the little curves there. So we're making a little bit of metal. We're gonna hard solder that onto there to conform to the shape, and then we'll file it down after. So that way it completes the rest of the oval. So we've patched in the arch that was there. So the next step here is to grind this down so that way it basically looks all the same. Our next goal is to take the shank and solder that onto the sides. We've attached the ring shank to the top portion. So the next step is we've got to size this up. And with old rings, one thing to be aware of is that there could be multiple like sizing seams on these. So before we even started, there's like a crack here. And from just warming this up, you can kind of see a line right there. And there's kind of looking like a line here. So we're going to warm this up, look and see where this particular piece is, and evaluate. All right, so what we have going on here, there's a seam here and a seam on the other side. So what we're going to do is cut where these spots are, just remove this piece, and then we're going to just put in brand new stock up to the size that it needs to be. We have our ring. We've rotated it, attached the ring shank onto it. We removed part of the shank that was like old material that had solder points on it. And now we're going to be adding basically a half shank to it to get it to a size 7. It did start at around 1 after the alteration. We've added material to the shank. Now we're going to hammer it so that way it's the right size. At this point in time, we're going to be doing some filing and sanding to clean up the ring shank and any other connection points. So right now, we're using a beading tool. It's like a little dome, and we're redefining the prongs. They're a little worn down, but for the most part, they're fairly decent. We have our ring. We're going to use this wheel, and this is Zam. We're going to polish the ring now. We have our ring. It's been polished. Now it's going to go into the ultrasonic. We've ultrasonicked our ring. Now we're going to steam it. We've done it. We have our finished ring. We've rotated the entire head and half shanked the ring. Made sure everything was tight, polished it up, and there we go. Thanks for joining us today. This is Eric with Forged Conclusions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share.